Energy can be destroyed. Not in a star burning billions of miles away, not in the crash of an ocean wave, not in the quiet motion of atoms inside your body. The universe runs on a rule that never breaks. Energy does not disappear. It simply changes form. This is the foundation of the law of conservation of energy, one of the deepest truths ever discovered about reality. Every explosion, every movement, every flicker of light follows this rule with absolute precision. But here is the part most people never stop to think about. If energy never disappears, then the same principle applies to everything happening inside your life. The energy in your thoughts, your attention, your effort, your time, none of it vanishes. Every second of focus becomes something. Every moment of distraction becomes something else. Every decision you make converts your energy into a new form that shapes the direction of your life. This is where the uncomfortable truth begins. If your life feels stuck, the energy once destroyed, it was redirected. If progress feels slow, the energy did disappear. It was transformed into something less powerful. The universe never wastes energy, but humans do something strange with it. Instead of turning it into growth, creation, or momentum, they convert it into hesitation, comfort, and endless distraction. Think about that carefully. The same force that powers stars and moves galaxies is flowing through your mind every single day. Your attention is energy, your effort is energy. Your choices are tiny conversions happening moment by moment. And whether you notice it or not, those conversions are shaping your future with ruthless accuracy. So the real question is not whether you have energy. The real question is far more uncomfortable. What is your energy turning into right now? Look around the universe for a moment. Nothing sits still for long. Stars burn with unimaginable power. Rivers carve their way through solid rock. Storms gather, explode, and vanish, only to reform somewhere else. Everywhere you look, energy is moving, shifting, transforming from one form into another. Motion becomes heat. Heat becomes light. Light becomes chemical reactions that power life. The rule never breaks. The universe refuses to let energy stay idle. Yet humans do something completely different. You carry enormous potential energy inside your mind and body every single day, but instead of transforming it into momentum, you let it dissolve into comfort. Hours slip away in distractions that require almost no effort. Endless scrolling, pointless arguments, constant comparison with people you have never even met. It feels harmless in the moment, almost invisible. But every second of attention you give away is a conversion of energy. Something valuable becomes something useless. That is the first hard truth most people refuse to face. Your life is not limited by a lack of energy. It is limited by where that energy goes. You wake up with a fresh supply every day: mental focus, physical strength, emotional intensity, but it gets spent long before it reaches anything meaningful. By the time an opportunity appears, the fuel is already gone. Energy does not vanish. It simply transforms. When it flows toward effort, it becomes progress. When it flows toward learning, it becomes understanding. When it flows toward creation, it becomes something that did not exist before. But when it flows toward distraction, it becomes emptiness. Hours pass, and nothing changes. Motion without direction, activity without progress. The universe never wastes energy, but humans find creative ways to do it every single day. And the frightening part is that most people never even notice the transformation happening right in front of them. Inside your body exists a quiet engine that has been running since the moment you were born. It never stops. Every heartbeat, every breath, every thought is part of a massive chain of energy transformations happening beneath your awareness. The food you eat becomes chemical energy. That chemical energy turns into movement, warmth, electrical signals racing through billions of neurons. Your muscles contract, your brain fires ideas into existence, your hands shape the world around you. It is the same universal process that powers everything from a burning star to a growing forest, all operating within you every second. The universe did not design a passive system. Energy inside living systems demands motion. It pushes toward action, toward change, toward transformation. That is why the human mind constantly generates thoughts, plans, fears, ambitions. It is energy searching for direction. But direction is the difference between power and chaos. A river without boundaries spreads into a swamp. The water is still there, the energy is still there, yet it becomes slow, stagnant, unable to move anything forward. The same thing happens when the energy of a human mind has no focus. Thoughts multiply but lead nowhere. Ideas appear but disappear before they become action. Effort starts and stops, scattered in too many directions at once. This is where most lives quietly lose their momentum. The energy is present, the potential is real, but without a clear path, it becomes noise inside the mind. Endless thinking replaces decisive movement. Plans remain ideas instead of becoming reality. The internal engine keeps running, but the machine goes nowhere. Energy alone is not enough. Potential alone is not enough. What matters is where that energy is pointed, because the direction of your energy quietly determines the direction of your life. Most people walk through life believing a comforting story. They say the problem is a lack of motivation, a lack of time, a lack of energy. It sounds reasonable, even convincing. After all, everyone feels tired sometimes. Everyone feels overwhelmed. So the mind accepts the excuse and moves on. But that story falls apart the moment you look at your day honestly. Energy is not missing. It is simply being spent somewhere else. There is always energy for entertainment that stretches late into the night. Energy for endless conversations that change nothing. Energy for worrying about opinions that have no real power over your future. Hours of attention flow easily toward things that demand nothing from you. Yet the moment a difficult task appears, the moment real effort is required, suddenly the mind claims exhaustion. This is the lie most people live inside. The human brain protects comfort. It quietly redirects energy toward the easiest path available. It chooses what feels good now instead of what builds strength later. The transformation happens so smoothly that it feels natural, almost automatic. But underneath that smooth surface, something important is being converted. Focus becomes distraction. Determination becomes hesitation. Potential becomes delay. The energy never disappears. It simply changes form, often into something that leaves no meaningful trace. Days pass, then months, then years, filled with movement that never becomes progress. That is the uncomfortable truth hiding in plain sight. Your life is not shaped by the energy you wish you had. It is shaped by the energy you actually direct. Every choice quietly transforms it into something real. Growth, skill, progress, or the slow accumulation of wasted time. The process never stops, and the universe never pauses the calculation. Energy keeps moving. The only question is whether it moves your life forward or keeps you standing in the same place. Here is the brutal truth most people refuse to face. Energy always finds a path. It does to wait for permission. It does to negotiate with your excuses. If you don't take control of it, something else will. Every second you waste is energy flowing somewhere else, into someone else, as hands, into something you don't care about, and yet it shapes your life just the same. Your attention is energy. Your focus is energy. Your time is energy. And every careless moment you spend scrolling, doubting, or complaining is a conversion of that energy into something that benefits anyone but you. Algorithms, gossip, distractions, meaningless arguments, they're all hungry for the energy you fail to direct. They take it, transform it, and suddenly your life is running on fuel you never intended to give away. The shocking part: you don't even notice. You feel busy. You feel productive. But the energy has been hijacked before it reached the things that matter. You complain about being tired, about lacking motivation, about not having enough time, but the harsh reality is that your energy is not gone. It has already been converted. You simply handed it over without thinking, and this is where most people fail. They believe the universe owes them results for their potential energy. They expect success to arrive because they have energy to spare. But energy doesn't reward intention alone, it rewards direction. Focused energy moves mountains. Wasted energy moves nothing but air. Every day, your choices determine the conversion. Every moment, you decide whether your energy becomes progress or regret. And if you don't take this seriously, the universe will keep moving forward while your energy keeps being spent on everything that does to build you. Your energy is not powerless. It is unstoppable, but only if you learn to control the path it flows through. In physics, when energy spreads out randomly, it becomes heat. Still there, still real, but it's useless for doing anything meaningful. The same principle applies to human lives. Energy that isn't focused becomes wasted. It moves, it burns, it is active, but it produces nothing that lasts. Hours of scattered effort, half-finished projects, endless planning without execution, all of it converts your energy into noise, into friction, into heat that warms nothing but anxiety. Your mind is constantly busy. Your body is constantly active. And yet, activity alone is not progress. Motion without direction is just movement in place. You run in circles, and the energy you generate is transformed into tension, stress, and frustration rather than momentum. The more chaotic your energy, the louder the internal noise, the harder it becomes to see the results you crave. This is why so many people feel exhausted at the end of the day and yet accomplish nothing substantial. They worked, they moved, they tried. But energy requires focus to create transformation. Unfocused effort, no matter how intense, is energy converted into nothing meaningful. It fills time, it fills the mind, but it leaves life exactly where it started. The universe does not care if energy is wasted. It follows the rules perfectly, without judgment. Energy transforms no matter what, and the outcomes are inevitable. If your energy is scattered, it transforms into stress and regret. If it is directed, it transforms into achievement and growth. The difference between stagnation and progress is not luck, it is not talent, it is the direction of energy. What you do with the force already inside you determines whether your life becomes heat or light. When energy is focused, it becomes unstoppable. A river that crashes through mountains generates power. A beam of light, concentrated, can cut steel. The universe rewards direction, not raw force. The same principle applies to your life. You may have potential, strength, and ideas, but without focus, all of it scatters and dissipates. Focused energy turns effort into results, thought into action, and motion into change. The power you carry inside is not measured by how much you have it. It's measured by where you place it. Small, deliberate, relentless applications of energy create momentum that compounds over time. One concentrated effort can achieve more than 100 scattered attempts. 1 hour spent fully present can produce more than a day spent distracted. The harsh truth is that most people never focus. They let life pull their energy in every direction. They multitask, they overcommit, they chase novelty, thinking movement equals progress. But constant motion without direction is meaningless. Energy is not magically transformed into success by activity alone. It follows the path you give it, and if you don't choose, others choose for you. Yet the opportunity is simple: focus. Decide what matters. Decide where your energy goes. Block out the noise. Stop giving fragments of your power to everything that screams for attention. Direct the energy inside you toward creation, toward mastery, toward goals that demand it. The difference between a life that drifts and a life that dominates is not more energy. It is the ruthless discipline to focus the energy you already have. One beam of concentrated effort can cut through barriers that raw, scattered power could never touch. Your energy is a tool. Point it deliberately, or it will point for you. Here, the shift most people never make, the one that separates those who drift through life from those who take it by force. Stop asking how to get more energy. That question is a trap. It implies that you are powerless without something external, that your energy is limited, fleeting, or beyond your control. The truth is far scarier and far more empowering. You already have more energy than you are using, but it leaks everywhere. Every distraction, every pointless worry, every habit that drains you is a tiny thief stealing from your potential. If you want a real change, stop looking for more fuel. Start auditing where your energy is going. Track it, notice it, and confront the leaks that have been quietly siphoning it away. Every social media scroll, every argument over nonsense, every late-night distraction, those are the places your energy transforms into something worthless. And once you see it clearly, you can redirect it. You can choose to convert it into focus, into creation, into results that actually matter. This is where the uncomfortable power lies. You are not lacking energy, you are squandering it. Every hour you waste is an hour of transformation happening without your consent. The universe does take care what you do with your energy. The law of energy is impartial. It always changes form. Your responsibility is not to make more energy, as to make it count. Fix the leaks, and suddenly everything shifts. The energy you already have becomes unstoppable. The tasks that once seemed impossible become achievable. The life that felt stagnant begins moving forward. The key is brutal in its simplicity. Stop losing energy and start directing it. Your transformation begins not with more, but with better. Here's the hard truth you've been avoiding: you are not powerless. Every thought, every action, every decision you make is a conversion of energy. Every day, your body and mind turn time into motion, motion into action, action into results. The universe does not pause, does not wait for your permission, does not care whether you succeed or fail. Energy moves, transforms, and shapes outcomes regardless of your awareness. The only variable is you. Every choice determines where your energy flows. When you focus on creation, learning, and effort, energy becomes progress. When you let it drift into distraction, worry, or hesitation, it becomes regret. The difference is not luck, not talent, not opportunity. It is the consistent, conscious direction of energy, the small, relentless decisions that accumulate over days, months, years. This is where most people fail. They blame circumstances, environment, or lack of ability, ignoring the fact that energy is always moving. The problem is not that energy is missing, it is that energy is misdirected. Potential exists inside every human being, but it is meaningless without control, without conscious choice. The engine inside you runs, but your life goes nowhere. The universe is impartial. Energy transforms. Your body, your mind, your attention, they are unstoppable forces. But whether they build something monumental or vanish into wasted hours is entirely up to you. Every day the transformation happens with or without your awareness. The law is absolute. And here is the most uncomfortable part. The universe will continue to move forward while your energy is wasted. You can either accept that, or you can take responsibility and start controlling the flow. The choice is yours. Your energy is unstoppable, but only if you decide where it goes. So here is the final, brutal challenge. Stop pretending that tomorrow will fix what you waste today. Stop blaming tiredness, circumstances, or lack of luck. The universe has already made the rule clear. Energy never disappears. It only transforms. Every thought you think, every second you spend, every action you take is converting energy into something. The only question is whether it becomes progress or regret. Look at your life honestly. Where is your energy going? Who is consuming it? What habits are quietly draining it while you pretend everything is fine? You cannot control the universe, but you can control yourself. You can choose the path your energy takes. You can decide whether it fuels your growth, your mastery, your impact, or whether it disappears into distractions, excuses, and meaningless motion. This is not motivational fluff. This is physics, brutal and impartial. Your attention is energy. Your focus is energy. Your effort is energy. Stop letting it leak. Stop letting it scatter. Point it deliberately toward what matters. Direct it relentlessly. Guard it fiercely. The truth will not wait for you. Life is already moving. Energy is already transforming. You can no longer afford to waste a single unit of it. The smallest redirection of energy today compounds into unstoppable momentum tomorrow. The smallest leak today compounds into regret for years. So decide right now. Audit your energy. Choose your focus. Direct it with ruthless clarity, because energy never disappears, and neither do the consequences of how you use it. Your energy is yours. Your life is yours. Transform it or watch it transform without you. The choice is raw, simple, and entirely in your hands.